Being single is better. Honestly, right now. Matara, young men don't commit. Subasa Indie.
Age is Matara looking for a husband. 35 plus, but the problem with men, this is gonna, it's gonna start off good.
There's always a problem.
Gonna get canceled.
There's always a problem with men. It's always our fault. It's always our fault.
When I begin my sentence with the problem with men. From what I have noticed in my recent experiences is that men, okay, hear me out. But now I have to, now this is going to sound cocky. I was going to say most men hit on me. Now that, Matara, you're being cocky.
Oh, wow. Look at you. Wow.
Most men will flirt with me. Bam. Okay, sentence over.
Honestly, I'm not gonna say anything.
She's cocky. She's confident. Whatever. But the problem is, men between the ages of 25 to 35 are like, hey.
Man, I haven't started streaming yet, and I'm already starting to ignore everyone on Twitter. Please ignore everyone on Twitter. They are crazies over there. Man.
Let's just go on dates, sleep together. Come over, do my dishes, do my laundry. Would you want to have
Twitter
kids?
For real.
But I'm not really sure what I'm looking for.
Start a petition.
I'm not really sure I like you like that. But can we hold hands? Would you like to meet my parents? And I'm kind of at a point where guys that are 25 or under are like, ma'am, give me a chance. I just want, ma'am, you don't understand. Miss, if you just let me in, if you give me a shot, madam, I will make you the happiest woman alive. Or men over 35 or over 40, who it's the same thing, where they're like, miss, please give me the chance and opportunity to date you, to marry you. You want someone serious? I am serious. But alas, and again, obviously not all men, but from what I have noticed from my experiences and some of my friends' experiences, a lot of men between 25 to 35 are like, I don't know if I really like you like that. Matara, you're nice and all, but I just don't know. I know.
Really? I would think that it'd be like the 25 and younger crowd that would be like that. I fit in the range of 25 to... Well, actually, she might have a point. Maybe. I am 26 years old, so I would be in that category, and I hate to admit it, she might sort of have a tiny point. Maybe. I don't know. I honestly though, recently I just haven't really been focused on that. I've just been focusing on the grind of building my channel and Twitch channel, putting effort into this, because putting effort into finding a girlfriend, it doesn't pay off. It just doesn't pay off. Not anymore. Not in America. It doesn't pay off. Put your focus and energy into yourself. All right? Make yourself awesome. Nah, man, you need to eat. For real. Alrighty.
You say you want to call once a week and go on a date once a week and cuddle, but I don't know, it's just a lot of commitment. I'm just so busy. I'm just so busy all the time.
Yeah, so busy.
You. So I'm kind of in this weird spot where...
You feel old? I feel old. Honestly, I think that if you are... I'd say probably 22, maybe 23. That's when you start to feel old. Nah, actually, maybe more like 25. I think 25 was when I really felt I'm older than you. There's a lot of people that are older than me. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised. I always thought that I was going to be like one of the older ones in the VTuber community, but 28, 29? Wow. I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad anymore. No. I'm sorry. The day I turned 25, that's the day my knees started popping when I walk in the stairs. Oh, God. Oh, man. For real. I think 25 is that start to feel old phase. Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate.
Everyone's non-committal. Everyone's like, I don't know. You want me to text you?
What did you do? I took away your bending.
Once every 5 days to let you know that I'm not dead because I don't use any social media.
Took away your bending of your back and knees.
And I'm nowhere. And if I don't text you once every 5 days, you won't know if I'm dead or alive. I don't know. That's a lot.
And my neck. My neck has been killing me recently. I think that might just be because I'm in my computer chair so much, but neck, back, knees, those are the three areas. Those are the three what do you call them? Problem areas. I don't know.
That's a lot. But yeah, for some reason, the 25 and unders are, I don't know what's up with the young men these days, but young men who are activated by hags. The young men who are
Hag Maxi. Yeah, I've heard that. Heard that's a trend now.
Activated by hags are like, ma'am, please tag me in. I will do anything, madam. Please, you don't understand. If you just give me one crumb of a chance, ma'am. No, Ice, just to be clear, when we talk about texting, in no way, shape, or form am I expecting people to text me all the time, right? I'm like, look at me. I'm busy now. Before this stream, I was hanging out with Michi. Then I was in a call. I'm not saying text me every day, all day, tell me what you're up to. But if you are in a committed something, I need to know that you're alive at least once every few days. That would be nice. Yeah, and again, there's nothing wrong with being non-committal.
She's got some really cool eyes. Her whole design is freaking awesome. Awesome design.
But my thing is, I'm committal. So if I meet somebody, they're non-committal, I'm not going to entertain that. And that's okay. I really want to be committal, but I think I need to improve myself. So the thing about self-improvement that I want to be very, very, I need to stop you right there, buddy. You deserve love at any stage of your healing journey. Period. Okay? That's it. Somebody will love you right now with the extra weight, without the haircut, without you having the perfect job, with you having a mattress on the floor. And that goes for any gender, any sex, any nationality, any income. You can find somebody will love you right now as you are. Bam. That's it. Boom. But I feel like a lot of men do get caught up in this mentality. And just to be clear, I don't blame you. I blame the society. Because the society, as we say,
it's the system,
makes it feel like you gotta have a good job. You gotta get a good degree. You gotta...
Not society, it's social media. Let's just face it. Social media is the one that's destroying our minds, destroying our standards, destroying our views of dating. You got women on social media saying, he's got to be 6 foot, make like $100K a year or $100K a month. What are the other ones? I think those are like the main two that I hear a lot. And then you got the men. The men either go two routes. Either, all right, we gotta go alpha male. We gotta get the bread. We gotta get that bread and all that, and then we gotta treat women like crap. Or they just say, okay, you know what? I don't care anymore. You guys want to have standards? That's fine. We'll go fishing. We'll play video games. We'll we'll have a bro cookout. Yeah, we don't need you guys if you're gonna have these crazy standards.
You know, provide. You got to do all these things.
Although I think that we shouldn't take social media to, like, we shouldn't make it to where it's like social media reflects reality. I think there are a lot more people than you would think that are like a lot more girls and guys that are just normal, you know, that have good morals and are just good people. But I think they're also falling into that trap where they're thinking that, oh, the other people out there aren't good people, so I'm not even gonna try. I'm not gonna go out or talk to anybody. So I think we're cooked.
So you are kind of in the space of, I can't be with a woman unless I have the figure, unless I have the body, unless I'm making the money, unless I'm doing all this stuff. And that's really tough, because then you feel like, well, why would she want to be with me if I can't take her out to a nice dinner? She wants to be with you and go for a walk with you and have an ice cream with you. That's it. She just wants an ice cream with you. She just wants to know that if she complains about her day, that you're there for her. That's it. But that's the hard part that I feel that and again, I don't know how to fix it. Politicians don't know how to fix it. Society doesn't know how to fix it. I'm just doing my best, right? But I do think you should be self-improving for yourself, not for your partner.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's more important nowadays more than ever, especially with women making money and then more men choosing to, you know, like maybe stay at home, be stay-at-home dads, be like stay-at-home husbands, things like that, to be there for each other emotionally. I think in the past,
I think the good mentality to have is like focus on yourself, but also keep your eyes and ears open, you know? Don't just have a tunnel vision on making yourself the best version as you can be, you know? Because like then 10 years later, you'll be like a CEO or have a nice house or something like that, and then you'll still be single, you know? I think that it is good to make sure that you are aware of people around you. Yeah, we maybe try to pick up on hints, although women are really bad at putting out hints and stuff. Yeah, we focus so much on the grind, we lose everything else for it. Yeah. Got to be a healthy balance. But I also think that women should be a little more obvious with hints, you know. But yeah.
it was more like, you know, the man has to provide and do all this stuff. And I was like, you're a team. You're a team. If you choose to want to be in that kind of a partnership or dynamic or relationship, I don't know if you're polyamorous or not, I don't know, but I definitely do feel like there's a lot of folks that worry that they can't date unless they get skinny or unless they get a better job or unless they finish their school. But realistically, it doesn't matter if you haven't finished your healing or your stuff. You still deserve, like, you can be loved at any point of your journey. You should be. The whole point of self-improvement, right, is you're self-improving for yourself.
Now, I will say that if it's like mental healing, like if you got some serious like mental problems that need serious therapy, I probably wait till like they're fixed, you know? Because I don't think relationships, if you got like some sort of PTSD, I don't know, or just you got screwed up by a relationship, or a relationship caused some trauma or something to get screwed up even more, I don't think another relationship's gonna help.
Accepted I'm going to grow old alone. But when you accept that, that's when you make it a reality. Like it's you're defeating yourself before you even start. Yeah, Steele. I like that one too, where it's like both, you want to be in a relationship with somebody where it's 50-50, but both people keep wanting to do 60-40. You want to be with somebody that always wants to give you the 60. No, the thing is, you have a choice with this kind of stuff. It's like, for this stuff to get solved, it would take generations. It would take generations of like different.
That's another thing, you know. I feel like you should strive for 50-50. You don't want to be the giver, and you shouldn't want to be the taker. Although people accept being takers because, you know, it's easy getting stuff for free, but you should strive to just do 50-50. 50-50 relationship.
living different stuff. I'll give you an example,
Yeah.
right? Like,
A lot of takers. Yep. But that's partly on the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and 90s, and hundreds. It's partly on them too, because they enable it. You gotta put your foot down at some point and say, if you're not gonna put in the effort, then I'm not gonna put in the effort, and then we should just break up. But yeah, I mean, I can get why it's hard to not enable it because you're in love with them and you really admire them. I've been in the 90s even when I say I'm not doing it. Yeah. Yeah, and also you can like not even realize it at the same time too. It's tough. It's tough. It may just like take a few bad experiences to learn. Some things like you can only learn by, you know, making the mistake, or you learn best from making the mistake, Unless it's like something illegal, then I don't recommend making a mistake to learn that. Just obey the laws. Don't ask how I know.
in a lot of Western countries, right? A woman couldn't rent an apartment or open.
It's more how they refuse to be willing to change. Yeah. If they're not willing to change, then it's tough, But being in an abusive relationship is a lot worse than being single. It may not seem like it at the time, or you may think it'll get better, or you'll have that delusion that, no, I can fix them. No. Really, the only people that can fix them is themselves, Either that or a really hard lesson in life. But yeah, being single is better. Honestly, right now, I agree with that. Right now, I agree with that.
A bank account earlier in the 1900s, right? That was not that long ago. That's only a few generations. There's a lot of stuff that is still very, very new and it's going to take a while. I think a lot of this is just with
Can't save someone that doesn't want to save themselves. Exactly.
different times. I need people to stop thinking that they can only be loved when they get their degree, when they get their job, when they get their body. You can be loved at any point in your life. I'm just letting you know. You are deserving of love right now. Right now. Okay? You are deserving of love right now. Right now. So we're yapping a little bit about that. And I was basically saying how I'm in this weird position where I am very committal. I want to have a life with somebody and commit, but I also am very picky because I think that for somebody to be my future husband and to have the chance to be cannibalized by me, I want to be very picky with who I let into my inner life and inner circle. I'm a lot more sensitive than I let on, so I'm very picky. They have to be, they have to do a lot of stuff. But unfortunately,
I will say it's perfectly fine to have preferences and standards. There's no shame in that. You shouldn't be ashamed of that. But at the same time, it may end up biting you in the butt. You may not find somebody that meets your standards. But shame. Shame on you. Yeah, it's definitely I think you definitely should get to know someone on a deeper level before you decide if they're not like your standards, Have reasonable standards and you'll be fine. Yeah. Wanting a guy over 6 foot, 100K a year. I mean, unless you're like a 10 out of 10, just in great personality, doctor, and Nobel Peace Prize. I don't know. You got to be able to match something like that. Don't think that I can bring being jobless, being overweight, having mental problems, and being able to get a 10 out of 10, 6 foot finance blue eyes guy. Yeah, you know, it's you gotta realize that you gotta be able to match it in some way, somehow. Not all guys, but I'd say also a lot of the like really attractive guys, like because they can get like all the 10 out of 10s, they're a little more focused on personality. Like they're not gonna commit to. They're gonna probably commit more to personality than looks, but looks are still probably gonna be high up there for
I'm in a weird place
those
where
guys.
most men between 25 and 35 are extremely non-committal, and I'm not blaming them, by the way. I blame society and God. It's just, you know, it's a weird time.
Why,
weird upbringing,
God?
weird
Why?
everything. Everyone's going through it. Nobody's
Why
sure
did you
how
make
to-
me like this?
how to- Oh, I'm so sensitive. Oh my goodness. I'm such a sensitive little cockroach. But so I'm kind of in a weird spot where men under 25 are like, madam, please, madam, slot me in. Give me a chance, madam. I will
Devour
make you a
me.
mother of so many children.
Oh my word.
They're like, please, madam, just let me in. I can cure you of your loneliness. And men over 35 are usually like, yeah, I could treat you nice. And men between 25 and 35, I'm sorry you got it rough. But from my own experience and from a lot of my girlfriends' experiences, you are a little bit more on the non-committal side. I don't blame you. Just to be clear, I'm not like, but, you know, I think it's one of those things where I don't blame you for being non-committal. Don't blame me for being committal. If I meet you and I say, hey, I'm committal, and you say I'm non-committal, I go, okay, well, bye-bye. There's nothing here for us. No, I don't want to hold hands and cuddle and talk into the night because you're not committal, but I am. So fuck off. Bye-bye. I'm 39 committal and want to do your dishes. That's a big plus.
Oh man. All right, that was a pretty good video. That's a pretty good video. I like her. I should watch more of her.